Hello, and welcome to the Brothers Win podcast. I'm Matt, and I'm here with my co-host and brother, Ian. Ian, how are you doing
That's
today?
me. I'm good, Matthew. I'm very tired. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I stayed up late last night to watch some of the March Madness games.
Oh, yeah.
I know
watched a
Ian
bit
went
too.
on a hike. That's why he was
I
tired.
did. 11 miles. It was good, but bad. My legs are shot. I had to, crawl around, basically, at this point. But it's good.
Yes, I'm
So
glad
you've
you
been
had
watching
fun.
some Thank you. It was good. So you watched some basketball games? I was watching a couple last night, too, when I got home. But, and March Madness is in full swing, huh? You happy about it?
Yeah, just for clarity, right before, I want to say this episode's being recorded Sunday morning. The first 64 games have already happened. So we're a little late to the train on this.
32. First 32 games.
Wait, only 32 games have happened?
Yeah, there's 64 teams.
Oh, well,
So
yeah. Okay, the round of 64 is over. The first 32 games have been played. That's my bad. I just assumed there were 64 games because I didn't do math.
They play each other. Yeah, they split up. Very good.
There's a secret round before that, and we watched.
Oh,
it.
yeah. Well, they actually do have a secret round, so there's actually been
they technically do. Yeah.
36 games played, but
Yes.
so we don't worry
The
about
first
those
4
playing
games.
games.
Yeah, because
Anyway.
they're not fun. The only game I would have watched out of that was
The
Michigan
Drake
State.
Wichita State. Oh no.
No, I
was
would have
thinking
watched
Drake,
Michigan
Wichita
State, UCLA, because I have them going to the Final Four, whoever it was, and it was UCLA.
And yeah, UCLA ended up winning. So
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
So, with that, let's get into it and start talking about each of these games. This is just a preamble topic for today. I just want to put that out there as well. This is only going to be like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
If you don't like college
ahead.
basketball, skip 10 minutes ahead. We're just going to go through all the games, talk about them. Any ones we watched, we're going to talk about them. Any ones we saw about, we're going to talk about. Upsets, we'll talk about. And then we're going to move on to the two topics today. I'll explain that more later. All right. So let's start in the West region. We're going to start with the Gonzaga
We're
game.
going by bracket. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, didn't watch
I am
it,
going to
but
go by
mean-
bracket now.
All right. Let me actually get to a bracket then, but you keep going. So Gonzaga.
Yeah,
and-
Gonzaga, Norfolk. No surprise. Gonzaga blew Norfolk out of the water.
Yeah, almost 100 points. it's
Choosing
it's not surprising.
choosing a 16 seed now is more of a viable opportunity, viable pick. But
Thanks to my alma mater.
yes, thanks
UMBC.
to Ian alma mater, UMBC.
Woo. It's weird to say alma mater. I feel like an old person.
Yeah, I'm almost gonna be saying that. That's weird.
Almost. I don't. Stevenson.
Yeah, it feels like I'm already done college. Like I've been done because of COVID.
I was gonna say because you got your big boy job. As
That
an
too.
intern.
Yeah, it feels like
Yeah.
I should just quit college and just
That
go
was
with
that was
but
when
I can't.
I got the job at Tetra Tech. I was like, oh, I don't need a degree, right? And I'm like, well, needed a degree.
Well,
Good thing.
I need a degree to get the job afterward.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
All right.
But so Gonzaga blew them out, scored almost 100 points
Yes, very easy win for them. They move on to the second round.
to face.
To face Oklahoma.
I had Missouri winning that.
I
So-
also have Missouri winning that because I for games that were like 9-8s and closer seeds like 7-10s, I went with the school that seemed more like a basketball school.
I think
So-
because Oklahoma feels football. I always do
Yeah.
it by the state, or wherever they are. I'm like Missouri. I mean, they both seem like bad states to live in, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. It's a tough thing, but I just like Missouri more, so I picked Missouri. But tough scene.
Yeah, I went with the football school thing, and Oklahoma is a big football school compared to a basketball school, so I was like, no way they win.
Yeah. Let's make sure also we don't need to do an in-depth thing for every 32 games. So let's just if it's one we don't want to talk about a lot, kind of blow by it and just mention it. All right. 'Cause we're not experts on college basketball for deluding anybody who's listening into that. We are nowhere near. We watch starting in middle of March, so at least I do.
Yeah, we're gonna get to a few at the end of this region, at least that I know that we're gonna blow through. But the first four are pretty interesting, other than the Gonzaga game. Creighton, UCSB, University
Barbara.
of something Santa Barbara,
California, Santa Barbara.
California, Santa Barbara. I had them winning. UCSB.
I had them and Ohio winning, the team they would have faced, who did end up winning against Virginia. We can talk about that in a sec.
Yeah,
But that would have been a solid pick.
that they were very close to winning. That was a really good game. I watched the end of that.
I missed that.
Sad that UCSB didn't win that because they were winning the entire time. Creighton came back, won the game. Sad, but it happens.
What can you do?
I was cheering for him the entire time, so it was a sad time for me because I wasted 30 minutes of my life watching the end of that game.
Well, you know.
And it was just all miserable. I don't know why I continued watching. I should have just turned it off and watched for the result. But let's move on to Virginia, Ohio, the first big upset that we're going through right now.
Well, I mean, in terms of like that we're going through. Like in terms of time frame.
I saw a stat. It's the first time ever in March Madness where 4 13 or under seeds have made it to the second round, which is insane.
That's crazy.
It's like, how is this a year like that? Like, I mean, it makes sense, COVID and all that, but like, why now? Like,
I don't know.
All of the brackets are done already. They were done like halfway through yesterday, which is weird.
Yeah, it usually takes like at least into the second round for people to be like, okay, you didn't get it, but this is like
it's instant. Like everyone got it wrong. Yeah. Nobody would have guessed that.
Yeah, because no one's picking that many upsets correctly and not picking more or less upsets. You know, like to where they're like, we're gonna pick like 6 of these upsets, and it's like, okay, which ones do you pick? Like I had the same thing, and I got the wrong upsets. Like, whatever. What can you do?
I had a lot of wrong upsets. I chose a lot of upsets. I realized how many I chose when only 4 teams under 13.
Oh yeah.
I was like, whoa, I chose a lot.
Oh, you're telling me, man. You're telling me. All right.
But about
USC
the game.
Drake? Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. About
Virginia.
the game.
No.
It just so bad. Virginia losing again in the first round after being the 1 seed when they lost to UMBC, which was a year before the last tournament where they won, right?
Where they won, and then it was an off year, right?
Yeah, they lost to UMBC as a 1 seed. Next year, they win the entire thing. Next year, off year. Next year, this year, they
lose
win it all. First round to 13. 13 seed Ohio.
Which means next year, put the entire bank on Virginia to win the whole thing.
They win the whole thing. I don't care what seed
off year, losing first round, and then they win the whole thing. Off year, losing the first round.
Also put all your money on another global pandemic happening in 2 years.
That's true. Yeah, that's the pattern. That's the pattern. If Virginia wins, start buying cans of soup and toilet paper again. So
yes, start preemptively investing in the stocks that will go way up.
Yeah, exactly.
So next game, USC Drake. Don't really need to talk about it much. Very mundane game from what I saw.
I did pick USC because I like Evan Mobley, but that's not a huge upset. I did as well. Yeah. Kansas, Eastern Washington.
Yes, I chose Kansas. Eastern Washington put up a good fight in the beginning.
Yeah, I saw they were up at halftime.
And then did not put up a second half at all. They missed everything. I watched a bit of that, and I was like, okay, don't need to watch that.
Exactly, yeah. VCU didn't play.
No contest. Now, this was weird because there was a lot of controversy, and I didn't know about it.
Was there controversy?
Yes, because Virginia had a positive COVID test on their way to March Madness. But when they got there, they quarantined, didn't practice, and didn't have a positive test for like 6 days, and they were able to play. VCU had multiple positive tests, still had a 5-man roster, which technically makes them eligible, but the league just shut them down, told them they couldn't play, and moved Oregon on, which sucks, but it makes a lot of sense. Like,
you got to be careful.
You can't have VCU play with an outbreak happening.
Could ruin the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would rather watch Oregon free move on, which I chose anyway. So
same.
Free pick. But it sucks. Sucks for the people that had VCU going all the way too. Like,
tough scene. I'm sure. I mean, not that many.
Not that many brackets probably, but a couple of VCU fans probably had it. Iowa GCU. I know you said this was a big upset possibility.
No, Emma picked this. I didn't think it was going to happen at all.
Okay. I was going to say, I didn't. I mean, I like Grand Canyon University because I've heard of them before.
It's their first year in the tournament. They're a relatively new basketball program, so shout out to Grand Canyon for even making it.
Insane. And they played Iowa and lost. So I have Iowa going all the way. So I needed that
Luka
to
Garza.
happen. Needed that to happen.
Good. All right, let's keep moving. We are at 10 minutes already.
Oh, we are? Okay.
We got to move.
Michigan won. LSU won over.
I had St. Bonnie's, which was
exciting.
I
had LSU because I was watching a reveal stream and somebody said St. Bonavard doesn't deserve a 9 seed or a 15 seed, and I was like, oh. Well, I got LSU. Then.
You're right. Yeah.
Colorado, Georgetown flopped hard.
Yeah, crazy. They had that story of what Patrick Ewing coaching them. You know.
Yeah.
I picked them for the Cinderella story to win one game and then lose the rest. So. But Colorado's just good, so
FSU. I had UNCG.
I had
Greensboro.
FSU.
And didn't work out. FSU won pretty handily.
These next two games.
These next two games ruined brackets, but
ruined mine.
Perfectly aligned with mine. UCLA and Abilene Christian University winning.
Beating BYU and Texas, respectively.
Yes. I have UCLA going very far. Texas, most people had them going pretty far. They're out already.
Terrible.
They had an easy run in this region until they got to Michigan. Most people had them probably, or Alabama, facing Texas. So, sucks for most brackets. UConn, Maryland, Bama, Iona.
Let's go Maryland, UMD. Terps.
Maryland wins. Let's go.
You go Terps.
Pretty heftily too. There wasn't really there was a bit of a scare towards the end, but really unreasonable. We were just
never got too out of hand.
Fans. Yeah. And Bama, Iona, Alabama wins.
Iona coached by Rick Pitino, old Louisville coach who got in some hot water, so he loses first round. That's good. So now we're in the what region?
South. Baylor wins easy.
Yeah.
Wisconsin handles UNC. Yeah.
Destroys.
What
Crazy.
happened? I don't know.
I had UNC winning.
I had Wisconsin winning. I have Wisconsin.
Good for you.
Oh, they lose to Baylor in another bracket. I have them going far.
Probably.
But it's because I had Hartford beating Baylor in that one.
Okay.
Villanova and Winthrop. Villanova wins. I had Winthrop.
So did I. And then I had the next one, Purdue, North Texas. I had Purdue winning. So I swapped those upsets.
Same as mine.
Yep. Great.
And I considered changing them because I went by my football school thing. And I was like, well, they're not either really football schools, but Purdue's more of a football school, so they're going to lose.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, switch it up. Go back. And then I lost. Yeah. Texas Tech beats Utah State pretty handily.
I felt kind of a throw-up game, honestly, when I was picking that one. But good thing Texas Tech won. I picked them. Arkansas beat Colgate.
Yes, Arkansas beat Colgate pretty handily.
This was an early game. It scared me. I was like, dude, if Arkansas loses, the game over. Yeah, I was watching that one
early
live.
game. The score halftime pretty even, and then Arkansas had an insane half. Colgate was gone. Yeah, exactly. Florida Virginia Tech, first game of the day, had a great
definitely
overtime.
Watched this one.
Insane shot. By VCU or Virginia Tech to bring it in the overtime. I had Virginia Tech.
That was a sick shot. That was a crazy first game.
I thought they were over.
Oh, for sure.
I thought the game had ended.
Hokies bring it back though, but then end up losing in overtime. I had VT winning, so that's upsetting.
Same.
But what can you do? And probably the biggest upset of the entire tournament. Oral Roberts beats Ohio State.
Yes.
Upsetting. Yeah.
Very close game.
My girlfriend picked a bracket for the first time and picked OSU to win it all, and this game was maybe the fifth game played, so I was like, I gotta break something to you, sweetie. It's over.
It's over.
You're probably never gonna do a bracket again because of this. But I probably a lot of people had Ohio State going far. A lot of brackets completely busted within the first
I know
5 games.
A decent percentage of people had Ohio State in the league that we're in. All things considered, having 64 teams to choose from. Illinois, Drexel, Illinois crushes them.
They're my champ, so that's good news.
Loyola Chicago, Georgia Tech, pretty
Sister Jean,
easy game.
Old lady pulls out,
for Sister Jean.
Good job with
Tennessee.
For
her. What?
It's a good job for her. She did great.
Oh yeah,
just being there.
Tennessee, Oregon State. Oregon State wins in an upset, 12-5. Did not have them, but almost did because Tennessee. I didn't see them as a basketball school again. I should have stuck with my plan and gone with it because I would have had a perfect bracket basically.
Yep. Sure.
Ohio State is a football school too.
Yeah, dang it. Oops,
it would have worked perfect.
They're both. They're lucky. Okay, Oklahoma State versus Liberty.
Yes, I had Liberty because I know where Liberty is.
Yes. No, I had OK State, so
probably
sorry,
smart.
Liberty.
Syracuse versus SDSU. Syracuse wins.
San Diego State was my sleeper pick. I had them going to the Sweet 16, which I'm upset. Or no,
I had
maybe
them
even
winning
the Elite
that
8,
game.
honestly. Yeah.
I thought Syracuse couldn't win. I thought they were just given a pick,
I thought
seed.
The bottom half of this bracket of the Midwest is garbage, so that's why I'm San Diego State can make it because I'm WVU, Houston, I'm I don't know, man. Can they slip out of there? So I had San Diego State going to the Elite 8 finals of this. This bracket.
I had West Virginia University going all the way because they are actually pretty good and just to blow
they show that by beating Morehead State by about 20 points. So
Clemson and Rutgers. Rutgers
close
wins.
One.
I don't know how. Pissed me off.
More points,
Houston and Cleveland State handily beat Cleveland State.
Houston apparently just beats up bad teams, is what I've heard. So I mean,
yeah, I'm scared for Houston in the future. That's why I have them losing in the next round.
Yeah,
to Rutgers
I think
now.
I guess Rutgers now. Yeah, but anyway, that's been the tournament so far. Bracket is handily busted. I mean, there's no hope for mine. Probably I will lose again this year. Never been great at this, but it's not really a science.
My bracket is actually looking pretty decent. I have every team in the Sweet 16 except for one right now. That's right.
That's pretty good.
Or wait, no, is it Sweet 16? No. Wait. No, it's not. It's the Elite 8. Elite 8. I only have one wrong. In the Sweet 16, I only have like 4 wrong, which isn't bad.
Yeah, I don't have my bracket up.
It means
but
most
still.
of my picks are still in the game, so
like
could be good in the future. But for now, let's move on to the actual topic.
Oh yeah.
Because that was a lot of basketball talk. I did not expect that to be that much.
Still skipping through until hearing us talk about basketball. We are officially done.
I'm waving my hands
basketball.
for the YouTube visual watchers in case they want to come to this spot.
and you have to scream for like a solid 30 seconds just so people know where the break is. or we could put timestamps in the description, but that seems.
I think we should scream.
Probably should scream.
So yeah, today is going to be a little bit of a different episode because, I'm going to do 2 topics. The first one is going to be a pretty small topic, nothing crazy. It's just something I thought of while driving. The second topic is going to be a little bit longer, a little more questions involved. But let's get right into the first one.
Let's go.
So I'm going to set up the scenario too because it'll draw it out a bit more. I was driving down the road from work, and I was on 695, which is a pretty big highway that gets congested at work time.
Mm-hmm.
And we were going pretty fast, like surprisingly fast for after work time. And I pass a smart car. I have not passed a smart car in years. And I haven't seen one. The little ones.
The tiny one. When you said smart car, I thought you meant Tesla. I was like,
oh, no
one calls them smart cars, dude.
See, yeah, that's why. You didn't even think of the car that existed back in 2013. That
I completely forgot
took
about
over the
cars.
world, and somehow, this is my question. This is my topic. How did that car pass any safety regulations?
Yeah, well, I just wanted to. They're like the PT Cruisers of the 2010s, because like PT Cruisers were like the ugliest, like, and they were so popular. Like our dad used to be a car salesman. He said, and he was like, he was selling cars when they were very popular, and he's like PT. Everyone was asking about PT Cruisers. I'm like, why, man? Just so gross.
Ugly car. There was a whole game made out of it.
Yeah, smart cars, gross.
But smart cars, I was so surprised to see them again because I haven't seen them since like 2013, as I said.
Yeah, look at that. I'm looking now. I haven't seen one of these bad boys in a long time.
Yes.
For anyone who's like not remembering, they're just like, they look like a hybrid of like a closed-in golf cart, pretty much. Like,
They do. They are the size of like 4 humans standing up next to each other. They are extremely small. And I passed this thing, and I'm like, how, if they were to get into an accident on the highway, which they were on, how would they survive at all?
Probably not.
And I thought about it. It's a little messed up, but if they get into an accident and they don't have a seatbelt on, the whole thing is basically like a Mighty Beans. And that's all I wanted to say, is that the little Mighty Beans toys with like the weights in them that you just rolled around down a track and they like flipped over, and like the weight in the middle kept them going.
Yeah.
That's all I imagined when it like starts rolling over, because there are tests that this is the one test I thought of, right? Where they swerve a car in and out of these cones aggressively, and it can't roll over because that's dangerous. I saw a truck fail this once, and it was pretty interesting because it's like extremely dangerous for trucks to fail that test, because any sharp turn like out of the blue will just roll you over. And I was thinking, I'm like, I guess it's low to the ground, so it might not fail that test, the smart car. But if it does fail that test, how could they even put that on the road? Because I feel like the second you make a little turn, you're just rolled over. You're done. And it's such a small, compact car that it's insane to me that it could even ever be put onto the road. And that's really all I wanted to bring up, was that
you just wanted to share that.
I haven't seen one. Yeah, I haven't seen one in 4 years. I thought of the Mighty Beans thing, which I thought was great.
You just wanted to show the Mighty Beans.
Yeah, I really did.
The human is
like,
the Mighty
funny.
Bean inside, yeah.
And yeah,
I looked it up.
Yeah.
It says they're kind of safe. It says like they're like surprisingly safe. Like, I mean, that's just like what these websites are saying. I really don't know, but surprisingly, yeah, you seems like you won't die in these things. But I mean, if you're asking me like, would I rather be in like a Ford F-150 or this mighty bean of a car going 60 down a highway and colliding like smashing into something at like full speed, like. Yeah, I'd probably want to be in the Ford F-150. Yeah. I feel like that's a bit safer.
There's also like no crumple zone. Like that's the main force of stopping a car in an accident and keeping you safe. So like how do you stay safe?
Yeah, speaking of that, I'm teaching a physics class, a conceptual physics class, and one of like the most like the easiest way to explain it, physics in real life, is like in a car crash, like how like there are safety devices like a seat belt and like crumple zones in place to like protect you and like the people within like from becoming like projectiles and like from getting in accidents. And we watched this video where it was like a 1959 like Chevy something and then like a 2009 like Chevy like new car like Sonata. I don't even know what a Chevy is, but they crashed into each other like half and half, like where like like so there's like half the car like facing air, half smashing into the other car. And the way that the like you'd like, oh yeah, the old car is going to be safer, right? It's like made of like metal. The way it like crumpled, like the metal's like piercing in and killing the crash test dummy.
The
and
whole
the crumple
dash
zones on the new it's
right into him.
Looked like a nightmare. And then like that camera's inside and it just was like it looked like you were like in a garbage disposal.
Yeah, it's insane.
And then the guy in the crash test dummy in the new car, the safer one, he's just hanging out. Like the airbag goes off and he like goes forward a little bit.
It looks like he's jamming to a good song.
Yeah, he's like, whoa, yeah, like the breakdown happened and he slams into it. So, but yeah, it's just crazy to think. And I guess I just don't know what would be safer, like that '59 Chevy or this smart car.
Yeah,
like,
there's
it doesn't make sense.
Argument for both, really.
Yeah, it does not make sense, but apparently it's safe. So,
yeah, but all in all, that was obviously a very short topic, and that's why I wanted to make this episode 2 topics. It was basically another preamble, but now let's get into the basically the actual topic of the video today.
Let's go.
I don't know if you saw this, but there was a commercial going around that sparked up some controversy. Just as a quick game, can you guess what the commercial was? Very recent, may have been taken off the internet.
A commercial that caused controversy recently.
I saw it on YouTube.
No, I actually don't think. Was it on? Did you see it on? You didn't see it on TV, is what you're saying,
no,
right?
I saw it on a YouTube ad. I don't watch a lot of
TV. On a YouTube ad. No, hit me with it. I might have seen it, but I can't think of it.
Okay, it is the Mountain Dew Bob Ross commercial. Have you seen that?
No, I have not. Give me a description.
I think it's because they took it off the internet, and it surprised me. It was very confusing. So it is Bob Ross painting a picture, right? And it's very vintage. It looks like one of his videos.
Yeah. Like
from the past.
PBS 90s, like grain style, yeah.
And just for reference, Bob Ross is deceased. He is no longer with us, which is sad. He's a great guy. But in this commercial, he's painting, and he picks up a Mountain Dew, and he drinks it, and he says something like, "Oh, that's really good," or something like that. And it's a deep fake of him. And people got pissed. It made me mad. I was like, why did they deepfake Bob Ross drinking Mountain Dew?
Yeah,
like that just like.
Did he get permission from his estate? Like at that point,
they didn't.
Oh,
and that's the problem. Yeah,
that's illegal.
There was huge controversy. Yeah, it was illegal. And it was up for like a few days, and then it was gone. Yeah, I got the privilege of watching it firsthand. And I was like, what was that? And I saw a Google article later about it, and the big question is, what's the ethical questions in deep faking in the future and in commercials and all of that. So seeing that, it was like, whoa, why is this brand using deep fake?
Yeah, so let's pause real quick and explain what deep faking is for people who may not understand what a deep fake is, Matthew. You want to do that or you want me to?
You can do that.
Yeah, so basically a deep fake, I don't know why it's exactly called a deep fake, but it's basically using someone's image. Like you can like basically copy someone's face and put it onto someone else's and have them doing whatever you want them to do. So like there's probably someone with Bob Ross's body type, or even they might have just edited it to where you could edit it to make it look like he was doing something else. But they edited someone with Bob to have Bob Ross's face drink a Mountain Dew while he was painting or something like that. And you can do that in all sorts of ways. You can take like Tom Cruise's face and put it on, you know, someone like, I don't know, like at a Nazi like camp. And it's like, ooh, is Tom Cruise a Nazi? You know, so it's basically taking someone's likeness, someone's face, and making a very convincing video because the technology is now like accessible for people to kind of make someone's face onto someone's body who's doing something that shouldn't be what they're doing.
To go a little more in depth,
yes, thank you.
The way deepfakes work is when you have enough content of a person, images, videos, you compile them, and this computer software conglomerates them into one 3D model of a person or a person's face. The person's face is usually more common, like Ian was saying, where they paste a face onto somebody else's body and it makes it look like that person's still there. But they can do full body deepfakes, like CGI basically. But this computer software compiles all these images, you send it, and it gives you this one 3D model that you can put on anything. And the 3D model can move like they move. It has all the mannerisms of them. You can make it say anything. You can make it emote anything. So it's pretty crazy. It's very scary for a lot of people. For common folk like us, I guess it could work because we have a podcast. I think there's enough content. There might not be enough content yet for us to be deepfaked, but it would be very crude if it was.
Yeah.
The more content you have, the better it is. So for these celebrities, these figures, these people with a lot of content out on the internet, it is scary because anyone can make anyone do something and film it. So there's a lot of ethical questions that come into the question when talking about it, and this commercial brought them all to light at the same exact time. So I just really wanted to go more in depth on how deepfakes how we think deepfakes could be used first. So I think that deepfakes can be used to accuse people of a lot of things, and it's getting scary because court systems have to recognize this before it becomes a problem. Otherwise, there's going to be a grace period where those things actually work. So let's say, let's use Deshaun Watson in this case because he's had some heat.
Oh, okay.
Let's say this is not true. For now, I believe all the allegations that have been put against Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Just as a precursor. But let's say every single accusatory sexual assault claim against Deshaun Watson, the Texans quarterback, is fake. And they have video proof that it's happened, but it's deep faked. Where does the line get drawn? Where do courts recognize
that
this
video
problem?
Evidence may not be legitimate because, you know, this is someone whose face has been in the media. You know, they have enough evidence to be like, okay, well, this person has enough to be deep faked. Is that person, could the situation be deep faked? Do you need experts in that field who are like, oh yeah, look, I mean, like, this person has, you know, been in the public eye. He's on Instagram. He's, one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League. It's like, does he have enough like evidence to be deepfake? Like enough, I guess, prior, whatever it's called, to be deepfaked? And like, I don't know. Can you throw away that evidence? Is it like dismissible at that point in a court case?
Yeah.
Like, well, we can't really take any videos for fact because they may not be fact anymore. You know, it's kind of freaky. And
to be fair, I don't know a lot about law, and I know I've watched some law videos on YouTube. I get sucked into that hole every once in a while.
That's always fun.
But I know like some court cases videos are thrown out where like technically it doesn't matter if there's a video of what happened or not. There's some clause where the case doesn't accept videos and stuff like that. And there's a lot of legal things already in place for that, but the idea of this technology being used is pretty scary.
Yeah, with court cases, like a lot of, you'd be surprised how much stuff can't be used. Like if there's a video that like a surveillance camera, like in a state where like you have to be told you're on surveillance camera. Like, you know, like you go into a parking lot, it's like, smile, you're on camera. You know, like we have video surveillance, and they didn't have those signs. It's like, hey, you can't use that because this person was unaware they were being recorded. So this, like, they didn't know. You know, like there's like first party and second party consent when it comes to filming things. And I mean, I know even lie detector, like you can't take lie detectors in court, like to be like, hey, this person failed a lie detector test when we asked if they murdered someone. It's like, yeah, lie detectors aren't good enough to be like, yeah, that's 100% irrefutable evidence that he killed someone, you know? So when it comes to court systems, I mean, like, and the idea of deepfakes being used in like court evidence, it's like, who even knows where we can go from there? Because the court system is, I mean, it's fair, I mean, but it's also like, oh yeah, we have video of this guy murdering someone. It's like, well, did he consent to being filmed murdering? It's like, no. It's like, you can't use that, man. Yeah, like, I'm also simplifying a lot. I did not go to law school, obviously.
Yes.
But I'm just saying, like, who knows? I mean, I don't know what that would even entail in a court system. So yeah.
There's a lot of problems with the court system as well. So
yeah, it's not.
There's a lot of problems with every system.
Yeah, it's made by humans. So.
But I know. Like, people that have had deepfakes done on them before, like Joe Rogan, have talked about it, where people get Joe Rogan. There's so much content. He has literally, like, thousands of episodes out of him being recorded.
Like, and they're like 2.5 hours to like 4 hours long. Like,
so
they're not
these
short
deepfakes
episodes.
are perfect. Like, they look like he was sitting there saying them. Mm-hmm. And it's terrifying to hear. Like, and he talks about how... you know, the used in any way, they could be used in any way to like harm people's reputation.
Yeah, like, I mean, fake news, like, I mean, I'm not trying to be like, oh, fake news, but I mean, legitimately, there is a thing called fake news, like, regardless of like what you believe politically, but it's like, it's very easy for people to be fooled. Like, and I mean, if you see a clip that is deepfake that you don't know is deepfake, of Joe Rogan talking to like, I don't know, Bernie Sanders, where Bernie's like, yeah, we should like nuke North Korea or something like that. And it's like, whoa, what? Like, don't vote for Bernie Sanders. Like, wants to nuke North Korea, like something like that, you know? Or like a celebrity who's endorsing like killing puppies or something like that on his show, you know? It's a lot of creativity, you know, exists in this field. So
there's an article that I have pulled up right now talking about the fake news epidemic and how like it could, like, it already exists, the fake news problem, but it could get really bad with this. There's so many, like, even there's also petty crime that could be aligned with it. The only problem is the content thing. So having enough content on somebody, usually it's targeting celebrities and everything like that. But if somebody like us were to have a podcast like we do, and we film our faces and we put it on YouTube every week,
which we do,
somebody could accuse us of something, have us on something, saying something. Like, they could easily edit this podcast for us to say something that would ruin our reputation in the future.
And I mean, yeah, like, who knows, like, where we'll be in the future, like, even if that'll be an issue. But it's like, like, we put enough content out there. Like, if we keep doing this, it's like a matter of, I mean,
luckily I still have all of the files locally stored, so I could just show them that I didn't say that.
But also, like, you have to think about the world we live in, like, from a like social media and everything standpoint. Like, many more people's faces are on the internet and stored and exist in this, you know, the internet, you know, like in the how, like, you're just putting your face out there more and more. Like, every year that passes, there's TikTok, there's, you know, Instagram. Like, every year there's more chances for you to be on the internet and be seen, and it's kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and there's more time for technology to advance, for deepfake technology to get better. So eventually I'm sure deepfakes won't need much. Like, I know there's a meme going around where people take still images and move them around to a song. Have you seen that?
Yes, I have.
Yes. It's not good. Not good at all.
It's obviously not like...
Yeah, it's obviously not a person doing anything. But they have taken still images, and I know for, like, really old famous people, they've taken still images and they've deepfaked that image moving and, like, blinking and, like, what their mannerisms were, just to show, like, Billy the Kid. I saw one on.
I think I saw really one for Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, and it's like, what would he look like if he was moving in this picture? And it was really good. Like, it was like, that's probably what he was doing, like, when he wasn't taking the picture. So, yeah, it's just, the technology can get a lot better over time, too.
Yeah. Another field that it exists in that could obviously be detrimental and life ruining for people is like with pornography. I mean, like you think with celebrities, like you could be like, oh, check it out, like I don't know what's like a celebrity, like I don't know, Emily Blunt sex tape or something like that. And you're like, whoa, and it's like you deep fake her face onto like someone's body who is, you know, having sex or whatever, in like sex tape style, and it's like, whoa, like she released a sex tape, and it's like, well, no, I didn't, guys. It's like deep fake. It's like, okay, sure. And I mean, you can even think about that, like if this technology becomes more accessible, more easy, like if you have someone who's on Instagram quite often, and let's say she's dating someone and they break up, and that boyfriend knows how to have like do deepfakes or can pay someone who can do that. He can like, I don't know, post her like fake nude photos, and like boom, like she's like, you could even do that with Photoshop now, but like, or like that revenge porn is becoming more illegal, so that's good. But I mean, so there exists a possibility where something like that happens and it like ruins this person's life. So
that's
freaky.
That goes along with the petty crime stuff, and it is terrifying. It's like
it's not just celebrities; it's happening too.
Yeah, and to think about technology in the future, and like maybe deepfakes are just the start of it. Like, what else could there be? Like, I know one of the crazy things that I learned in one of my classes is that right now we're in the graphical stage of computers. Before we were in the textual stage, which is like command prompts. You have to put in text to make a computer work, right?
Yeah.
Can you guess what the next one is in the future?
So this has to do with like.
Yeah, sorry.
You said graphical? Yeah. So
textual, graphical. What's next?
Oh, okay.
And we're starting to go into it. Technology already exists in the field.
Is it something with like AI and like machine learning and all that, or no? Am I completely wrong with that? Or does it have to do with
that's
audio?
A good guess, but it is it's 3D.
3D.
So,
okay. So when
VR.
you say graphical, you mean like pictures, like picture things.
Like when you have your desktop browser or desktop open, right?
Yeah.
There's little icons that make apps work. You click on them, app works. In the textual stage, there were no apps. There were no clickable things.
You ran like command prompts to where
you ran command prompt and you made the computer work for you. Gotcha. There was a bit of it towards the end of it, but for now, the start of the 3D world is VR.
Okay.
Soon, I predict, this is my prediction, that computer screens will be like 3D, like hologram type stuff. Like within 5 years, we'll have holograms that work pretty efficiently. Yeah. And then I think it's integration with environment. But so like my room
like
is
AI.
a computer. Like AR, basically.
AR is what I meant, not
but
AI.
Very realistic AR. So like I was
Microsoft
telling my one friend that
that.
Yeah, like this wall in my room could be a computer screen, but it's off right now. And then I'm sitting in my bed, I do something, I don't know what the interaction would be, turns on this computer, the whole room changes or something like
Iron
that.
Man style. Yeah.
Like
stuff,
holodeck type stuff. Very
like you can like you're just like looking at like imagine you're like my desk or your desk right now with nothing on it, and you like turn on like I don't know, maybe it's glasses or something like that, or it's like something like implanted, but like you have like this keyboard pop up that is just your desk, and you can just like tap on your desk and it's a keyboard, and you're like
they
right
do
there.
have those technically now, but it's like really bad. So and it's always going to be really bad, but the scary thing is that the technology is developing, which is where the deepfakes also come in, where technology developing on its own is terrifying. Technology that is detrimental to pretty much everyone involved is also extremely terrifying. So it just compounds on itself and makes this mess that it's very hard to control.
It's also, speaking of being very hard to control, you think about governments and how slow like we said, the court system and just like laws and everything like that move. Like I mean, this completely like the rapid pace that technology is going at developing, it becomes like, okay, can government and laws keep up? Because it's like, hey, like we have this problem where deepfaking pornography of people is ruining their lives and like revenge porn style. It's like, can we fix that? And they're like, okay, what's a deepfake? And it's like, oh my gosh, it's like law already takes long enough. It's like, how long is it going to take when people don't understand this? You know,
and it's also a matter of like, when will they understand it? So they might not be able to even recognize that it's revenge porn when the court case comes through.
Yeah.
And they just send them off, like whatever the consequence is. But people might not even realize that it is a deepfake until much later. And it's like right now, I'm sure there has been at least one court case in which a deepfake was used and promptly successfully gotten by. Like no doubt in my mind that that's already happened.
I mean, it wouldn't be that shocking to me. And it could happen to anybody, you know? It's not just like, oh, these criminals. It's like, yeah, like, you get accused of, like, murdering someone. It's like, no, I didn't do that, obviously. It's like, I've never murdered anybody. It's like, well, here's this video of you murdering someone. It's like, I didn't do that. It's like, you're doing it right here, man.
Yeah.
It's
like surveillance video. Like, it doesn't even have to be good. You don't even have to have a lot of content of the person. You just make, like, a decent, low-res deep fake of somebody, and you can get them.
It probably wouldn't even be that expensive to do in the future, yeah. It's like, oh, I just paid this dude $200 to do it. You know? Like, yeah, in his basement, he just made me this deep fake of you doing it. So, yeah, it's freaky.
Yeah, it is terrifying. So, not to bring the mood down or anything, but
was the mood up before talking about how scared we are of technology?
That's true. And talking about car crashes and smart cars, but
yeah.
March Madness was pretty fun to talk about.
Oh yeah. Oh, I thought you were gonna go even further down. Into,
no. I was just talking about in general, like at the end there when we were talking.
Like, not to bring the mood down. I'm like, oh my gosh, what are we talking about now? Puppies are used in deepfake, like to like show. I don't even know, to get put down. It's terrifying. No, but okay.
The deep web.
Keep going. The deep web.
But no, that how far are we into this episode? I just want to know.
41 minutes.
I think that's a good place to end it. I could go on a little more, but I think with that, we kind of came back around, closed off the deepfake topic in a way.
Yeah. It's all solved now. We fixed it. So good job, us.
So I think deepfakes are no longer a problem. I think we should.
Congratulations to us. Yeah, don't think about it anymore after this.
I think we'll be a utopia now from what we've done.
Thanks to us.
But yeah, let's do the outro now. I want to thank everyone for watching. You can follow us at Instagram and Twitter at Brothers Whim, YouTube, the Brothers Whim Podcast. The clips episode, for reference, I'm going to stop doing those just because they aren't performing as well. And it's a lot of work on my part to get those out. Yeah. It's actually a lot more work than editing the regular episode to get a clips episode out, because I have to watch through the entire episode if I want to get the best clips.
Couldn't imagine doing that.
I scrub through to like where I remember good parts were, and then I just kind of like skip around, but it takes a long time. It's not very beneficial. And when they're not performing as well as the regular episodes, I'd rather just put the regular episodes out. So
if you're hearing Matthew talk about this, that doesn't really apply to you because you're already listening to the entire episode. So thank you.
That is true. I will make a clips episode, just this clip. So
yeah, just this last 30 seconds. So thanks for listening.
But yeah, we're still gonna be posting weekly, one episode a week, Sundays. Hope you enjoyed. Not hope you appreciate it. I was gonna say
hope you appreciate it. Yeah, seriously, we're doing a lot for you guys.
Yeah, hope you appreciate everything we do for you.
No kidding. We love you guys. Thank you for listening.
Yes, we love you. Thank you for watching. I've been Matt, and that's Ian.
I'm Ian.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks.